hopefully see them a little more clean shaven. And yeah, we're on to another day. So I have done some additional work, and essentially what I'd done was the bits that I'd said in the previous VT you'd have heard. So yeah, you'll see that the catch can is off. I'll flip it round and show you what I've been doing with that. So yeah, basically, yeah, what we had to do is, like I explained, we've had to run and make 2 catch can setups. And what I've done is, yeah, this one's going to have some welding done, ports closed up, and a bigger port welded on there. This one needs a third additional weld on fitting, so I've got loads of different fittings. This is a this needs to be cut. I'm going to do this at work, cut down, and then this will be welded, have a -16 welded, and then that goes onto the side of the block. Going to have a new gasket on that as well, and then yeah, that will all be done. I'll show you where I've located it. Jamie and the guys at Real Street have, I don't know how, but they've probably had a smaller system. They've somehow ran a catch can underneath there, which is kind of perfect position underneath, but God knows how you get that in there. I do not know. So we're not doing that. What we're doing is we're going to have the secondary catch can up here. That's the Whiffbits catch can, and then the line's going to go from this side, and it's going to go round down under the front of the engine, and then into the side of the block. The other catch can is going to go here. Now this is where I used to run my small catch can, which weren't doing a very good job. And what I'm doing is, you'll just see, I've done 3 holes. I'm actually mounting it underneath there, so it sits underneath. Yeah, basically the pot will sit underneath there. We've checked for clearance of intercooler pipes, turbo pipes, and clearance for full lock on the steering in the wheels, and it fits basically. So that what it's going to do is it's going to go from the under catch can, the secondary catch can, with a big -16 line under the front engine into the block, the side block. Then from that catch can, that will feed that -12 line up to this secondary catch can, which is effectively my main catch can that has the vent. 2 ports. It'll have a 3rd port added, and then it will vent to atmosphere. That catches most of the oil. This starts filtering out a bit of crankcase ventilation, and that should just vent, and it should be bone dry at the top. In theory, fingers crossed, considering how much we've had to do to get this, to make this work. Yeah, it's going to be fun times. But I'm not doing the welding. I don't weld, so someone's going to be doing that for me during the week. I'll fit it on next week, and you'll have another video with that. In addition to basically what I've just told you, I have also been fitting the other things that Remain, my tuner at Race Cow, has advised me to do, as well as the catch can. The last piece of the puzzle was to get a bigger intercooler. He said get a 5-inch to 6-inch. 6 inches obviously huge. I ended up going with a 5.5-inch Whiffbits system. So it's a new 5.5-inch Whiffbits intercooler, and I must say I've already fitted it. I wish I'd done some of the video of it, but I had one of those days yesterday, funny enough, where I just had to get my head down and get on. You could probably fit it on your own. I had a bit of help from the other half, and actually did a really good job, and it is absolutely mega. I just want to say, links in the bio to it. That intercooler for the price, I think the only other company that makes those big huge intercooler cores is EPS. Now I don't know where Whiffbits get their intercoolers from. I think they build them themselves from cores, but whatever the hell they do, they are epic. They're designed to fit pretty much, or not pretty much, they're designed to fit in the stock locations, pending what you've got. 5.5 bar, a 5.5-inch one, you may struggle with the crash bar on the front. We don't run that. I know it's a bit naughty, but I've never run that for quite some time actually. So I could probably get even up to something like a 7-inch on there, I reckon, if there was one in existence. 5-inch intercoolers are deemed to be good for about 1100 wheel. 4 inches are good for about 850 wheel, and 5.5, what I've got, are good for like about 1300 wheel. 6 inches are good for 1600 wheel. So ours is going to be really, really good. I'll flip it around and show you how it looks and how it's fitting. Car's just jacked up at the moment because obviously we've needed to get to some of the side port block, but yeah, if you look, it just looks beautiful. Like I say, fits in stock location, comes up to the front. There is even space behind if you don't run a crash bar, but it just fits awesome. I wish I didn't actually put fitness. You might be able to see. Yeah, you can. The core is huge. Like I say, 5.5 inches. Just looks the piece and the part, and yeah, it just a word of warning, I suppose. I've managed to make it fit. Don't worry about that line. That's just me again, mock fitting catch can lines. It runs about 3 to 4 inches wider than a Blitz 4-inch intercooler system on the inlet and outlet. So it's longer, but with some jiggery pokery, most people shouldn't have issues with where your intercooler pipes end, or you've made them as such. So it should fit your done intercooler pipe and whatever you've done, I think, give or take. It did ours, even though you had to find 4-inch deficit, 3-inch deficit, not deficit, increase should I say. So this is about 4 inches longer from inlet to inlet, which means the core length is longer. The height is about another 4 inches in height, I think, which is huge. And then obviously you've got a huge amount of depth. 4-inch intercooler is a very big intercooler. This intercooler is way more bigger in the core, which is the biggest thing and the main thing, but it's also longer and higher as well. So there's huge amount of additional surface area and cooling in that intercooler. That is easy going to support around 1300 wheel horsepower, which gives us future proofing. It'll probably even support a little bit more, but I think easy a good 1300 wheel horsepower, which is like kind of 1550, 1600 kind of flywheel horsepower. But yeah, I've also been doing loads of things for MOT, which is now passed. It's 2 front indicators. I've actually changed them. I had some bike indicators. These are, I'm not sure what they are, but they're nice and tucked away. They're so bright that actually from this angle you don't see them, but they flicker and they do everything they need to do to be legal. I've also had some issues with my side repeaters. I think I've just been getting copper creep and electric creep from just old wiring. So we've redone the wiring on that, one as well. Everything all works perfect now on the wiring side. I also did I've basically doing some little odd jobs now because I'm at a point where I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm running this bigger Yuasa battery to the happiness of a Remain at Race cow. He hates race batteries. I specifically got this battery because I worked it out, and I worked it out a treat. I was so pleased with myself. It basically is a thinner but higher battery, and still has 450 cold cranking amps, so it's really, really good. And what else is it? 50 amps, isn't it? Amps an hour, I think. Yeah, 50 amps an hour as well. So it's a good size battery. Again, you maybe could do with even a bit more, but I think 450 is around the sweet spot. I love the depth and height of it. Fits there. I'm going to make a cage for it and a fitting for it. The beauty of it being there is I thought about weight distribution and weight over the rear axle. I'm going to be able to put that dead in the middle, just behind that rear axle, which is going to put weight and shift weight onto the rear wheels, which in a huge power rear wheel drive car like this, it will make things really, really good. Last things, I've said to people before, I still have not had a chance to clean this car. This has had disused batteries and brakes and all kinds, and there's been spillages and all kinds in here. I had sprayed this and it looked really good. When I get to a point where I'm happy with everything else, which I pretty much am, another day, which I think is going to be next weekend now, I'm going to clean this all up and sort it out. But other than that, real good, ready to rock and roll for our next bits, which is basically some more mapping and some road mapping and road seat time. So I'll get you a full review of my first times properly out with this car, with some revised maps going for about 1,000 to 1,000 horsepower at the wheels. So 1,200-ish flywheel horsepower. Happy days. I didn't actually say I have done some other stuff. I have. I've been again. These do need to be tidied up, but I've got some block fittings and stuff like that. And I need to kind of tidy up some wires. I have been tidying up some wires as well as shortening some runs of fuel pump cables and fuses and all kinds. So I've been doing some wiring. I've been really pleased with how everything is, really starting to tidy things up. I'm just going to do some conduit and clean up some stuff, and then when I spray, this is going to look really sexy in here. So much better and happier with where this is at right now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I say, once I get the welding done and back on those bits, I'll fit those next week, which is the catch can special race catch canny thing. Once I've done that, I'm going to be getting the car out on the road a lot, and I'm going to be testing it, and I'll film my kind of reaction, because I haven't really done a real many heavy hits on this car since I had it back. Even though it's all good, it'll be even more better with all this stuff all done. It means we can up the boost even more on race fuel, and it means that we'll be ready to rock and roll with some new little drag setup as well, as such, but a basic drag setup with drag radials, street ETs basically, on a new set of alloys on this car, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. And if you didn't know, I'll tell you now, we are going to do the JM Imports Race Wars event, which is half mile, quarter mile. I think we're going to mainly go for the half mile, not worry too much about the quarter mile, but yeah, it's going to be coming soon. So yeah, going to be some drive videos coming really soon. I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching, guys. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe. See you again in the next one. Bye for now.